Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hey. We're in episode 108, 108 episodes later, the rawest, the realest, joy-filled truths from the past 2 years, because this marks July, 2 years from when I first started this podcast. July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So 2023, literally a couple of months after I had this little kiddo who just walked into the room, Egypt, his lovely laughter. He's 2. So the podcast is the age of my toddler. Come on, you want to be in the camera with your little popsicle. Yeah. Oh. So my podcast and this little guy are twins, sort of. He was born in January 2023, and the podcast was born in July 2023. And he's really greasy because kids get into stuff, and he got into Vaseline. Anyhow, so I started the podcast, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, because the stigma is huge. And don't put on lipstick. The stigma is huge in the Black community. As, of course, if you've been following the podcast since episode 1, you know what I've been talking about as far as the myths and the beliefs and that we believe about not wanting to go see a doctor or a psychiatrist or a therapist or not wanting to be on a medication. And I just felt the need to have a space where, oh God, get out of my makeup, boy. I just felt the need to have a space where I can get outside of the office, the one-on-one, and talk to whoever's listening so that I can be a part of breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community, promoting awareness of mental health and talking about it, getting comfortable talking about uncomfortable things and letting everyone know that, hey, it's okay to not be okay. So we're literally about to go through episodes 1 to 107. You're going to see a compilation of these episodes from the beginning to right now. It's crazy where I came. You can tell the huge difference. The mic is missing. The headphones are missing. The nice clarity of this camera that I'm missing. The lighting is off. So, of course, I'm going to critique because I've been looking at all these episodes trying to figure out which clips am I going to show. So laugh, enjoy, comment, like, follow, subscribe if you haven't, and continue to watch this podcast because it's not stopping. We're going to keep going. We're going to have 200, 300, 400, however many episodes it takes. So enjoy. To Journey to Joy Live. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Nina Joy Mena. I'm the owner of Enjoy Life, Living in Full Empowerment, LLC. You can also call me Dr. Enjoy. I'm a child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. My sister, June.
Hello. Thank you for letting me be your first official guest.
You are my first official guest. The stigma behind mental illness is like that fear that maybe you'll be judged, the fear of being vulnerable in some
fear that's not going to work.
You're allowed to get sad. You're allowed to get anxious. You're allowed to get scared. You're allowed to get angry. Those things are allowed. With depression, it's more than just sadness.
I'm actually a better blank to whomever else when I pour into my own cup first, and it feels funky at first. It feels guilty. It feels lazy. It feels wrong to a lot of people.
So guilty.
Yes, who are trying to unlearn do too muchness.
So how should one deal with stress?
Like taking deep breaths, saying like, I got this, I'll survive this.
Let's stop right there. Taking deep breaths. Now, deep breaths are really good in general because stress has to do with like anxiety and when you're nervous. That's exactly what I was going to say. You must be a psychiatrist, son. You know exactly what to say. We're getting into the risk factors for overdose now because as you become tolerant, maybe you're just like, oh, I'll just take another one. Oh, I'll just take another one. Oh, and you don't realize how much you took.
Yeah. And if the medicine gives you any extra boosts or enjoyment other than its intended therapeutic purpose, that puts you a little bit more vulnerable. Let's say if we can get real.
But then when I remember going home, that's when the sadness would set in. You know, the insecurities creeped out. And that's when I was just fully exposed. And that's when I just realized, man, I have an issue.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's cool. You know, Jägerbomb won, you know, life of the party. Oh, he's so crazy. But inside I was
You
in
like
pain.
that.
I liked it at the moment, but it was so temporary.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
with liquor, it was just temporary. And then once I was by myself.
Well, honey, I am so proud of you for being so strong, for doing that for me and for your family, for your kids. I think that is completely amazing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like we have a great marriage.
Yeah.
You know,
It's beautiful.
you know, we had a lot of growth before that. We still have growth, but it's been great. And, you know, it's hard to say, like, do you leave that person because they're an alcoholic, you know, that kind of thing. Because
sometimes you have to leave them.
Sometimes you're putting yourself first and doing something for you that makes your everyday life better, that makes your physical health better, and your emotional health better, your financial health, your spiritual health, whatever that is. So self-care is what helps you, right? Be that better person, be that better
mom. How resilient you are because you got yourself to whatever point you were, you got yourself there. You've been through difficult things before. Keep that in your mind. And if you can't remember it, write it down.
But if you work on your values, so clearly this couple is showing us they value quality time, they value time away from the kids, away from the moms, away, you know, from everybody. And like, you have to believe in your values strongly enough to say, nope, PTO and I'm out.
So my journey to joy has been a long chapter, but I made a decision 10 years ago that, now 11 years ago, that I wanted to stop complaining, and there was so many things that I was in control of. And so I started to seek information, and that's why I say growth is very on top of my list.
Get into the fact that joy is a choice in that case, because if someone's depressed or in some type of state where they can't just become joyful, like, I'm gonna choose to be happy. I'm gonna be happy. Yay!
Right.
That choice is the choice to choose therapy, the choice to do yoga or coping skills or medication if you need to, or whatever it is.
Right. You don't seem like an angry person at all. Tell me about your journey from grief to joy, because you are so joyful. How did you get to this joy?
Oh my gosh. You know,
from that anger.
When he got sick, I don't think I realized how selfish I was and how walled off I was. I think I knew that there was some of that. And where I put it and where I felt that I flourished, what was it at work?
So one might ask, is it possible for me to experience joy if I've had trauma? Yes, it is possible. Making that choice to get on that journey to joy despite trauma, that's the choice that we all must make. And that choice is getting help and seeking help and processing the trauma.
Black people, we don't go to therapy. They tell you, oh, go to church.
Exactly.
Pray about it. Pray about it.
Like, yeah, okay.
Cool. I need help. So I decided, you know, I was going to go and search for a therapist. And so I take therapy, but I also have, she's a nurse practitioner that prescribes my medication. But it works well for
that journey towards joy is getting, I hate to say this, but getting back time. And getting back time means I'm using my time in a way that is going to be the most fruitful for my spirit and the most fruitful for my family.
Joy to me is showing up as the best version of myself every single day so that I can walk in my purpose.
Stress affects sex the same way it affects everything else. So if your mind is cluttered, and I even read about if your house is cluttered, that can affect your sex life too. So anxiety, depression, lots of different things, whatever is stressing you out or cluttering your mind, that can affect affect sex and affect your pleasure and enjoying it. A lot of times we might hear about Black women in general, they just don't enjoy sex. It's like a chore. They do so many roles, right? What would you say your journey to joy as a couple has been like?
Amazing.
Amazing.
It's been amazing. This is a storybook. We feel like we got the cheat code, and I wish this for everyone. And the interesting thing, we don't see a lot of people who have this. But for us, our journey, we're still growing. We're still learning. We're still butting heads, and we're still going through all of our ups and downs. But
You're human.
yes. But the journey is amazing because here's the thing. Marriage is not the destination. Marriage itself is the journey.
It's a journey, yes. That's good. That's what people don't understand of singles.
Yes.
They just wanna get married.
They just want to get married and
understand.
think that's it. It's like,
Yes.
You say all the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
And I used to not like it. He said, marriage is hard, marriage is hard. And when I would hear that, I'm like, when you say marriage is hard, it makes it seem like you're saying hard.
Like
marriage.
I'm hard.
Yeah, yes, it's hard being married to me. He said, that's not what I mean. I just mean you
In a
gotta
good
work
way,
at
you
it.
gotta work on it.
And I'm all
Yeah.
like positive affirmations. You gotta say nice things about our marriage. Just positive affirmations. I recommend you strive towards spending more time with you. Date you. Go on a date with yourself. Go by yourself somewhere and expose yourself to your thoughts. Write the thoughts down if it's so jumbled up and cycling around or racing thoughts where you can't organize them. Write them down. Think about your moods. Think about how the thoughts are making you feel. And you'll start to understand your thoughts and what they're saying and start to love being with yourself. Well, Neil's scripture is I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. That was at our wedding.
Yeah. That's
my song.
What was that from the Book of Fabulous, right?
You make me better. Yes.
Make me
We're
feel-
supposed to make each other better. No, really.
Exactly. Make
It's
each
not
other
focusing
better.
on stop focusing on what he ain't doing. And I'm more so talking to the women because I know we get caught up in that. Focus on what you should be doing. You won't have time to worry about what he is and is not doing. I promise you.
And I guarantee you it'll be noticed. And what will happen is then that's when he ain't gonna be outdone. Men are very competitive.
With trauma recovery and mental health recovery, it's kind of like substance abuse recovery, where, like you're saying, it's a daily struggle. You have to work at it every day. You have your self-care routine every day.
You have to change. I had to quit. I quit alcohol. I'm only drinking red wine, and I think I made it once a month.
You deserve that self-acceptance. You deserve that self-love and self-compassion. So surrounding yourself with positivity, self-care, all of that goes into building into yourself, feeding into yourself, putting yourself first. If you are running low and letting the stress just overtake you, that's exactly what will happen if you don't feed into yourself. Exercise, good sleep, good nutrition, journaling, music, whatever that self-care you need, then when you face a challenge, it's just gonna blow you over. The way we cruise through challenges is being able to put ourselves first.
So everyone's different, right? Like I know for me, I need a lot of alone time, right? Like I find that I need to have some time by myself. If I get up in the morning and I have done a little bit of meditation and I have kind of brought myself to center and I have my moment of gratitude where I kind of fill my physical space with all sorts of positive things, because I'm blessed. I'm a fortunate person, right? If I remind myself of that to start my day, that helps me keep things down.
Ask yourself, what is getting in the way of you asking for help? Why don't you ask for help? Are you ashamed? Do you feel like if you ask for help that you won't be able to be there for those people that you have to help? Because if you don't ask for help and things get worse, you won't be there for those people that you need to help.
It is important to remind myself to be present. I do a lot of self-talk, a lot of conversations, and yes, I may respond to myself. Does not mean that I'm crazy. It just means
that's fine. We don't use the word crazy.
Oh, we don't, because we have the best conversations with ourselves and say, you know what? Maybe we should change this. You're right. Maybe we should, because this is not working for us in any kind of way.
Strategies for sustaining sanity with less than therapy, because that's the first level for everyone. You don't just start out in therapy. There's self-care routines, self-care activities, all those things that we need to keep up with for less than therapy. And if less than therapy doesn't help, then that's when we consider going to therapy. And if therapy doesn't help, we consider going to a psychiatrist to think about, do I need a medication that is helpful?
But it's important that you take your own mental well-being seriously. And if you're struggling with it in any kind of way, you should talk to a healthcare provider. It could be your primary care doctor,
Primary
but
care.
definitely have a conversation with someone about it. For young people, if you're feeling distressed, identify at least one adult you can trust that you can talk to about what you're experiencing. And help is available.
For episode 50, 50 Shades of Joy is the journey to joy. Are you on your journey to joy? Think about it. Are you examining those 5 crucial areas of your life? Mental health, physical health, financial health, social health, and your aspirational health. Think of that.
Patients who come to you who are suffering, they don't always need medication.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes what they need is a deeper self-understanding of how they got where they are.
Yeah.
And the influence that previous generations had on that.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes it feels like we have to explode when we've been triggered, or we have to explode when there's some type of ignite that gets to us and we have to react to it, like the cause and effect. But where emotional regulation comes in, that it tells us, well, you know what? As long as we can regulate our emotions, we don't have to react and act a certain way. Let's take. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to snap at you because that would not be good for you and your mental health. Yay. Now I feel better because me not raising my voice, I'm not getting my blood pressure up, and then now I'm taking care of my mental health. So everybody's mental health is just great because I didn't cuss you out or I didn't snap. You are the most important person to yourself to be able to love yourself, tell yourself you're worthy, tell yourself you are respected, and be that coach. Imagine if the voice inside your head was your best friend. I mean, what would you say? What would you say to your best friend when something happens, when they had a failure or they hit a bump in the road? What would you say? So say that to yourself. Start speaking to yourself just like that. It's not just self-help. It's self-revolution. So the idea behind the Enjoyno, my brand, is that it helps you enjoy life, helps you elevate your joy, helps you know that you can choose joy, choose the journey to joy, and enter that and experience it, because it is a decision to enter joy. Joy just doesn't fall on you.
You know, when I think about emotional regulation, I always say to people, it's a soft skill with a hard consequence. So if we do not learn how to emotionally regulate ourselves, especially as Black people, it can be life or death.
Yeah.
So it's not this frou-frou buzzword cute thing. This could really be a skill that saves your life, and it's imperative.
So as we get into this Inspire Joy series, the first I in Inspire is integrity. So INSPIRE, integrity, nurture, stability, purpose, intimacy, resilience, and empowerment. Being a part of your journey to joy is what you put in your body, what comes out of your body, and making sure you are getting the maintenance and care that you need so that you can continue to go through this life and experience joy. Because without your body, that's it. So now we get into the S in Inspire. Stability, our financial health, our security, our financial security, money. In this chapter, I talk about budgeting for joy. So budgeting for joy, working on your finances, doesn't always have to be this boring life where you're doing nothing. All you got to do is budget for it. And when I think about in the past when I used to be really good at budgeting, I was really happy and organized, and I was less anxious and less stressed. So it's kind of like telling myself, well, come on now. You're going to be less stressed. Just do it. So when you think about your life using a GPS, what's your life's GPS? Are you getting lost in life? Do you not have a life GPS? And therefore you just feel like you done lost your way and now you just not able to fulfill those things in life that you would have wanted to fulfill, or you don't even know what you need to fulfill because you don't have a life GPS. So it's definitely really important when you think about your purpose. How am I going to get through life? What am I going to do? And having a lack of purpose, like I said, it impacts your mental health. Now we're into intimacy because our social health, relationships, all those things, they can be both a joy and a joy stealer. I talk about joy stealers and stressors in the Enjoyno a lot. And, the word stress pretty much covers a lot of different things that we could be experiencing in life. Stress can have to do with toxic relationships. Stress can have to do with work issues or financial issues or mental illness. You can choose joy. The How of Happiness, that author says that we have control over at least 40% of our happiness. 40%. That's actually a lot. Because when you think of well, what's the other 60%? 50% of that 60% is like a genetic set point. Like all of us automatically go back to a certain level of happiness. So that's 50%. Maybe we don't have control. Maybe, it can change through life. But what's that last 10%? Life circumstances. We're always waiting for a certain life circumstance to happen in order, oh, that's going to make me happy. When I get married, I'll be happy. When I have kids, I'll be happy. When I get that job, I'll be happy. No, that's just 10% of your happiness, 10% of your joy. So now let's go back to that 40%. That sounds like a lot now. That 40% is how you think and what you do. So what are you going to do? Are you going to choose joy? Are you going to change the way you think? You are in control to build your resilience and to maintain your joy despite what's going on. Oh, I got this no matter what. I'm a badass. Whatever it is you got to say, turn on the bad bitch music or something like that. And then day 7 is celebrate achievements. You can achieve something, whether it's small or huge.
Yeah.
What achievements?
Whenever I get not feeling like I'm empowered or celebrating myself, I always thank God for being able to brush my teeth.
There it is.
I mean, just that little thing, because somewhere in the hospital, there's somebody who
they can't brush your teeth.
They can't brush their own teeth. They have an occupational therapist
can't feed themselves,
showing them how to hold a toothbrush because they just had a stroke or an accident, you know. And so just those little teeny tiny things are just moments of empowerment.
Yep, you can drive the nicest car, and that still may not bring you that joy. You can have all the money in the world, and that still may not bring you that joy, because that is something that's innate. That's something that's embedded inside of you. So it's finding it, and when you find it, hold on to it. By all means necessary. We have our moments when we're down and we go, but joy is forever.
In general, us women, we spread ourselves thin, and just getting right into it, when we are the wives and the moms and the person bringing in the money, we have to worry about all those things. When you think about it, the men, they're more so catered towards, they bring in the money and that's it. They don't have to come home and take care of the kids. But we got to come home, take care of the kids, and do all those things in addition to it if we are the breadwinners. So that mindset, when you speak about that so many times in your podcast, let's jump into that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about, first of all, I think the thing that makes the biggest difference for me was just this shift from I have to do all the things. I have to do every single thing myself. I'm the mom. And I remember trying to be the one to cook and be the one to clean and be the one to do the things for my kids. And I'm competing with, say, the mom who's homeschooling her kids, staying at home, making homemade granola bars and all of that stuff. And I had to have a meeting with myself. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You can't do this. And I'm really grateful for my husband, because he's the one that started helping me to think this way. When I'm trying to cook, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm cooking. He's like, why? I'm like, because that's what we do. He's like, you want all these things or you don't. But if you want to build the business and, help build the church and do all these you're not going to do all of that and do all the things you've always done. Something has to give.
It's definitely okay to put your self-care first before the kids.
It absolutely is.
that is a non-negotiable for me. Hey, I gotta go for a run, or mommy needs to go to get a massage, or we just need to call the babysitter this Friday because we just need to go out with each other and leave these kids at home. So Meet your husband. Yeah. So deciding, if it's self-care or if it's marital care, or, we just need a date night, whatever that is, just making sure that we're intentional about that time. When it comes to like budgeting. But I have to do it or else
Is
how am I
budgeting
gonna know
a
what to
bad
do?
word? For
Huh?
you, is budgeting a bad word? Does
It's
it
the
make you
B
go,
word of the household. Yes, it is a bad word, Dr. Darla.
No, budgeting is not a bad word. She doesn't know she's my friend yet, but my friend, the budget Nisa Tiffany, Alicia, she says the budget is your yes plan, right? A budget is what helps you understand what you can say yes to. And my addition to that is the budget is what you can say yes to now versus later. Because when it comes to affording everything, it isn't always about yes versus no. Sometimes it's about now versus later, or this first, then that. Right?
If you could design the ultimate self-care survival kit for the holidays, that we can come back to each holiday, what would be in it and why?
So you know what? I have one. I have a survival kit, in the form of the CARES model.
Hey.
And so
almost like I knew you were going to say that.
I know. I know, right? And so thinking about the CARES model, the C is cultivate mindfulness. The A is address negative thoughts. The R is restore through self-compassion. The E is ease stress. And then the S is seek balance.
Like being mindful before the meal. Am I hungry? Am I feeding an emotion? They show movies. The girls have a bad day. They go and get a pint of ice cream. No. handle your emotions. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I crave this? And journal it. Talk about it, get it on the surface level, release it. Like, do I really need to have this ice cream, or do I need to go for a walk, or do I need to talk to my girlfriend?
What is your journey to joy been like?
Wow. I think freeing up myself, like letting go of like expectations. I think that a lot of times I was like, well, if it doesn't go like this, and I just mean like in life, in my career, like, oh, well, I want to be a program director. It has to be like this. But I learned that I'm a program director extraordinaire. Yes, I can do it like this. I can still have businesses. I can still support the community, especially with things like Black Trivia Night, like just bringing some joy and some happiness and laughs. Like, people are like, "You're a doctor?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, some people tell me. I'm like, I'm chill. I laugh. I'm goofy.
They're like, you're like a regular person.
Now, even if it's something small, when life be lifing that you are dealing with, it is important to know that you can. Yes, you. My husband just walked in, making me lose my train of thought. Now you got to be on camera. Nobody watching right now, but they're gonna be watching. They're gonna be watching later. No. Why you walking here?
I was just listening.
Oh, you listening to me about life be life, and because I was about to talk about the next thing that stressed me out this morning. Life be life, and I was talking about how I couldn't get a hold of somebody to make my eye exam appointment. Oh, yeah, look at it, look at this. Kaiser. Marriage be marriaging. That was my other ing. Here go the Tyler be Tylering. I want to say the baby be babying, but he a toddler too. I got two toddlers now. They walking up in here. But so you know what? Yeah, I'm about to talk about you. So come on in here. Come on. Let's show the Tyler be Tylering. Come here, Legend. Show me your wrist. What you got around your wrist, so we can talk about that. Okay. Well, anyway, and he stinks, so y'all can't even smell that. He can stink. So Legend, the 4-year-old, loves to wear bracelets. So when I talk about marriage be marriaging, I'm working out. I'm having a great workout. I'm just like, yeah, this is nice. My husband's calling me. I love it when he calls. So I'm like, answer it. And I'm like, yay, where's my husband? Wait. So he's just like, hey, I don't want him wearing those bracelets anymore. Oh, yeah. He's not wearing those bracelets. We have to come to an agreement. And I was like, okay, we'll come to an agreement. He's like, no more bracelets. I was like, I thought we were going to come to an agreement. He's like, I just came to an agreement. I was like, That's not how agreements work. He made his own agreement by himself.
He freaks out every time he can't find it.
Right. So every time he can't find the bracelet, then he freaks out. So anytime he likes something, he wants to remove it. So marriage be marrying because you got to come up being on the same page and stuff like that. Anyway, I felt some kind of way because of his tone. But what did I do? I didn't fight with him. I went because you weren't home yet. I took a shower. I played some Tasha Cobb's really loud. Okay. And that was great. Meditated in the shower. I felt good. You came
and the drive
home.
Calmed me down. Cool.
Your drive calmed you down. Isn't that nice? See, life be lifing while I'm live. Look at these kids. But this is nice.
Life be lifing, but it's not, still a healthy balance of chaos and
healthy balance of chaos. But yeah, that's what that means. That's what I'm trying to describe to them, that life be life. It means that life is going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah,
so why are we surprised
exactly
when bad things happen?
Correct.
It's going to happen.
You have to just be mentally strong.
Have to be mentally strong.
For herbalism, narrowing it down is hard, but I think it's very helpful to realize that herbs work on a physical level. Like they can actually help to repair the physical nerve tissue and help to repair damage, which is cool. But then they also work on like an energetic and emotional level too. So there are herbs that are adaptogens, and not only do they help with the nerve healing, but they also help with our stress response so that we don't feel so reactionary.
Our brains don't work 24 hours a day, right? We need to experience other things. We need to have other stimulation to be able to even create new ideas. And so learning how to, and I don't like the word balance. I think the thing that we really need to balance is our nervous systems. We need to learn how to balance our nervous systems, because there's really no such thing as like work and life, right? When you say there's work-life balance, it's such a fallacy because you're saying there's things are separate, and you can't balance two things on a scale that are of the same. So work is a part of life, and there's many other parts of life, and it's just how do you understand a system that you can build for yourself, so when whatever piece of that pie needs to be the priority, it is the priority.
We will always feel like a failure if we expect the unrealistic from ourselves. So if I say, oh, I'm gonna start working out and my goal is to be able to lift my car, I'm never gonna be able to lift my car. So I'm always gonna fail. I'm never gonna reach my goal. I'm always going to feel bad about myself. I'm always going to feel like I'm not strong enough. I didn't work out hard enough. I didn't do enough. Maybe it's my diet. Girl, you were never going to lift that car, ever.
Never going to happen.
So I think we have to shift the whole, like, is my expectation of myself realistic?
Exactly.
And if it's not, you will always feel like a failure.
Like you named some ages. I am 41. Okay. I just had a kid 2 years ago, so I just feel like I'm ages away from menopause. But it sounds like it could be close for me. So someone like me, what are some of the first symptoms that we would see, and because we usually think, oh, hot flashes. Oh, it's menopause.
We do, don't we? We think hot flashes, night sweats, brain fog, that kind of thing. But really, honestly, the first few major signs of perimenopausal symptoms is anxiety, is having trouble sleeping, is cyclical changes with your cycle.
So just a lot of things that are going on with gut health, because a lot of the times we can see anxiety that kind of comes along with it as well. So it's like it all kind of works hand in hand. What we feel physically, what we feel mentally, they all work hand in hand. But the key thing I see is that a lot of women will have this guilt for resting. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, if I'm resting, I'm not being productive. I'm being lazy. This is supposed to be a luxury because I'm resting and I have so much to do. I don't have the time to rest. So having that guilt when you know you need to rest is a common sign that you are either in the stages of burning out or you have reached that point of burning out.
That's it. And that's it.
Yeah.
We're not
judging
critiquing
yourself.
it. Yeah. We're not critiquing it. It's progress.
Right. Why do we have to critique it? Just, notice it, name it, and then get beyond it, erase it. Yeah. Right. So we feel the need to critique it and give it a grade. Like, well, that was so dumb. why did I do that? It's good to know like why you thought something or why you may have done something, just to like grow and learn, but not in a judgmental way. But we do have a tendency to say why, like in a judgmental way, like how dare I? But what you said is key. Change your inner dialogue. That's literally, I mean, that sounds kind of like a concept. What do I do? But that's what you do. You change how you talk to yourself and how you think about things. We don't spend time thinking about our thoughts.
No, not usually. Definitely not. So it's like, yeah, once you start noticing what some of the thoughts are, then you can just take that. And like I said, beginning, it's like progress. I noticed that I did that. That's it. That's all. And that's what I'll tell people. Like, once you just have awareness first and foremost, then you can move into the next steps. And then after, like, once you can get into noticing, then start reframing.
No, there's no savior riding in on a white horse who's going to come save us from wherever it is until Jesus comes. Amen. You know, pass the offering plate until Jesus comes. We got to figure this thing out. Right. And so, you know, we have to be willing to take accountability for the environments we have. And if we've gone through something traumatic, it is on us. It's not blaming you, but it's on us to say, how do I protect myself? And am I willing to do the work required to make sure that this doesn't happen to me? Am I worth it enough to me to be willing to do the recon work, to have the conversations, to do the vetting, to have the right discipline with where I spend my time? All of that goes back to accountability. And if we're not willing to be accountable for ourselves, we have to be, you know, we have to be okay with the results that may come out, good, bad, or indifferent.
For me, I talk a lot about balance and joy and pain. And you can do that all in the same day. But you can also have a day where you're just like, nope, I'm not doing joy today. I'm only going to do pain. I'm laying in my bed and I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to, you know, I'm a little hormonal right now. And I was kind of feeling like that today. Like, I just want to watch TV and cry all day, you know? So we have to, you know, it's okay to have all the emotions. You don't want to minimize people's emotions, but you want to try to figure out how to tease out, like, why does it feel like a burden, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to not be okay, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Medication, I don't want to just throw a medication at you. I'm just like, some people just like, look, just give me the med and that's it. I'm like,
because some people have been trying. They've been working on the skills. That,
well,
you know,
like, try, correct. For those of us,
but if it's your first go-to, you know, because it's not, a lot of people think it's a one-to-one. They think you get a med and you're instantly better. It's not. It's not that straightforward. And sometimes it's trial and error. So I'll be quiet. I can soapbox. So I'm gonna be quiet.
No, it's okay. Yeah, you have to do the skills with the med no matter what. Jessica, were you gonna say something?
I can say anything. Pills don't build skills. Someone told me before, right? So I was just telling that to a client today, which actually gave her some hope, because it's like, you've just started that, but we still have this other work to do.
A woman might say something and the man hears something else, or the man might say something and the woman hears something else. And you add a layer of trauma to that. Ooh.
Yes. And that's the filter, right? Like that becomes the filter that we start to filter information, communication, what we're seeing, what we're receiving, you know, so you could literally tell your husband, like, you know, something like, you know, babe, I miss you. And he could hear, I'm feeling as a husband. And you're like, how does that translate into I'm feeling as a husband? But if that's something that is his wound, right? Like fear of failure for a lot of men. For a lot of men, it's fear of failure. For a lot of women, it's fear of abandonment, right? And so it's like, so I'm coming to you as the woman because I'm afraid, I'm anxious. You know, if you go away or if you shut down or you walk away, like that triggers my abandonment wound and the fear of you leaving. And then for the man, it tends to trigger the husband. It tends to trigger like, oh, like you think I'm a bad husband. Like
go straight to that.
Any form of constructive criticism.
Correct. I'm a bad provider. I'm a bad husband. I'm a bad man. Yeah, you're right. It goes straight to that.
While I was dealing with that loss of my father, I had to also say that I could hold multiple emotions at the same time.
Right.
I could hold the fact that there was a tremendous loss and there was a tremendous sadness, but hold at the same exact time that my father was no longer in pain, that the memories of him still persist, and that the moments that made me smile, that I have a right, and it's a privilege that I am able to smile about that too. So holding both things at the same time, and also not comparing or judging myself for how my situation is and turned out compared to another person's.
Journey to joy. It's just finding me and being authentic in that, and not worrying about who doesn't get it or who doesn't like it. Right. You know.
Yeah. It's joy is an everyday decision.
I find that I enjoy playing spades, talking that mad itch, slamming the cards on the table. I like playing basketball, breaking someone's ankle. I like deep belly laughs where I laugh so hard that now with this postpartum bladder, I might leak a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Those deep belly laughs.
It is.
Yes,
It's all about
I like that. I like that.
Laughter is medicine for the soul, and I love watching The Office. I like that dry humor for sure.
And as you mentioned sports, I just joined Professional Women's Football League, tackle football.
What?
And let me tell you, to be able to scream at the top of your lungs on that field is the most exhilarating experience ever. I didn't know I was going to get this kind of joy in 2025, but I needed it. So yes,
That's everybody's homework. Whoever's watching, do something different.
You better be getting paid.
Yeah, but I think for me, it's that peace, and I had to find it. I don't think I had peace. I had to do the work to have that inner peace, to recognize the beauty in my life and moment. So I think that's the part we skip past, that healing journey, that trauma journey, that really figuring out our identity, who we are. So I think for me, it's being able to now, after I've done all that, recognize the beauty that is in my life.
Yeah. Putting on like the lens of joy, helping you see through the challenges, peace despite the problems. When we say joy is a resistance, kind of like resisting that issue that's trying to make you feel depressed. You can always budget for joy. And joy doesn't always have to be booking a cruise or booking a trip or booking a day spa. It could be going for a walk in the sun without your kid and thinking about nothing but dirt. So, and that's not even a budget. You don't need to budget to take a walk or a couple dollars, right? So if you put in your budget, this is what I want to do, you can do it. You just have to prioritize it.
Yeah. There's a way to access whatever types of things you love on any line item budget. Like if you want to spend $5,000, you can go try new restaurants in Tahiti. That's always my country.
That's the one that's too far and unattainable.
But if you don't have $5,000, you can do a staycation. If you don't have staycation, you can just try a new restaurant. If you can't try a new restaurant, you can try a new recipe. Like, you get my point.
Oh my God. Yes, Jessica.
Accessible things on every. Listen, if you can't try it, you can watch videos of people cooking.
And I know it's possible because I feel like quoting that scripture. I know what it's like to have lack, and I know what it's like to have a lot. But either way, I have all things, right?
And it's not, I don't want a man or I reject men. It's more so, this is what my life looks like right now. And
you accept it.
My best friend asked me this question that made me sort of just change the trajectory of the way I thought about my life. And she said, Pam, if you were single for the rest of your life, how would you live it? Would you live it upset and frustrated and worried and afraid? Or would you, what would it look like for you? And that's what changed a lot for me, because it made me realize, what if I am single for the rest of my life? Am I going to be in languishing mode until my life ends? Or, so that's when I started to accept, okay, so my life could look different. It can unfold differently. What does that different look like? And not that I wanted to speak that into existence. I know we talk about that kind of thing a lot, but it was also about changing my mindset so that it wasn't so dependent on this thing has to happen in order for me to find joy in life.
And humor is a mature defense mechanism. So I think if we can laugh about stuff, that's great. Laughing is healing to the soul. It is okay to laugh.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, flexible strategy. I love it.
Because some people take life so seriously, and I think it's okay to just give permission not to take life so seriously. I laugh with my patients, even patients. I feel like that's a nice scale for how depressed they are that day. If I can make them laugh, I'm like, okay, you're not as depressed today.
I know.
You don't laugh, then I'm like, oh shoot, let's up your dose.
There's a lot going on.
Right. Yeah, so this is great. So as far as radical joy, what does radical joy look like when joy itself feels like resistance? And we say joy is resistance. So like how do we do it?
Yeah, I think joy and freedom are aligned with each other kind of in kind of Black holistic wellness practice, in that happiness is innate, and trying to build something that's not there can be a difficult practice. So I tend to tell people, like, what brings you joy? What brings you joy, and what deterred it for you for today?
Sexual wellness.
All right. Well, then let's dig into that, because I'm sure you have a lot of patients talking about sex and having all kinds of questions, what they call personal questions. But what excites you about that topic?
Girl, I've always been kind of freaky. I'm being very serious. If you know me from since I was a kid, I've always been very interested and very curious and very outspoken, a little precocious when it comes to that. And so no one was surprised when I became an OBGYN. No, nobody in my family, my close circle. I love sex. Who doesn't love sex, man? And if you have great sex, which we all should be having, then I'm going to try to help you to get that. Okay.
Yes.
It's achievable. It's achievable.
That makeup can be a form of therapy, but are we actually numbing something deeper with our contour and concealer? It definitely seems like we could be.
We actually are. Like I said, we're masking emotions. We're masking, trauma. We're masking our uneven skin tone, our fine lines and wrinkles, our tiredness, our stressful night the night before. So it's a numerous of things that you could be masking.
We're going to really get barefaced, because we are talking about barefaced vulnerability. I don't think I've ever been live barefaced. So let's do it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You probably go live without makeup because you're showing the before and you're doing makeup anyway.
Yes.
But we're doing the opposite. We have on makeup and we're removing it.
We're removing
because we are removing our mask. We are doing our anti-self-care. Well, I shouldn't say anti-self-care, because cleaning your face is self-care too.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Okay. I am so proud of myself. That was beautiful. I am celebrating 108 episodes of Journey to Joy Live. I'm just so excited. Have you seen all the episodes? That wasn't even all the episodes. Those were just like favorite points from most episodes. What's your favorite quote? Who's your favorite guest? What's your favorite topic? Who would you like to see again? Oh my God, I just cracked up. I think my favorite quote was Dr. Renee Allen just now. She's just like, I've always been kind of freaky. I did not expect that at all. So dope. And speaking of Dr. Renee Allen, thank you for coming on the podcast twice. Thank you, Dr. Alima Zakers, for coming on the podcast twice. Thank you, Dr. Pamela Larde, for coming on the podcast twice. And honestly, I think the award to the most frequent guest goes to two people who have been on the podcast 4 times. My husband, Juan Mena, and my BFF, Jessica V. Taylor, owner of Therapy for Black Women. Thank you, y'all, because y'all have been supportive. My husband's been extremely supportive, so I can even be able to do this podcast. This is probably only the second time that I'm live where I had to watch the kids. The second time out of 108 episodes. So all those other episodes, my husband has been watching these kids. So thank you. I can't do this without a village. Also, my mother, as well as mother-in-law and sister-in-law, are very helpful. Speaking of my mother, I'm pretty sure she's probably the only one that's seen every single episode. So thank you to my mom. She's so amazing. And it's just been a great journey. And that's what this joy is. It's a journey. It's really not the destination. You don't get there and stay there. Sometimes you feel the joy, sometimes you don't. Joy and pain can coexist. You've learned that. You've heard us all talk about that. We've said joy is resistance. And number one, prioritizing yourself. You got to do that. You got to pour into yourself, give into your self care in order to be there for others. I know I've had days where I just wasn't able to pour into myself first or just didn't do it. And I've saw the results. You got to do it. You can experience joy despite challenges, traumas, grief, loss, sickness. You can do all those things. It's all about what's up here, what's within, reframing your thoughts, reframing your dialogue, changing how you talk to yourself, cultivating gratitude, positive affirmations, all those fluffy sounding things. It works. I wouldn't be talking about this if it didn't work. Thank you, Melanie, my most recent guest. Appreciate you for watching right now. I appreciate every single one of my guests. It's just been absolutely amazing. I love doing this solo, and I love definitely having guests. I've been popping into LinkedIn and Instagram. Hey, you want to be on my podcast? Because it's just always nice to hear different perspectives. And I know I've definitely learned a lot myself. I mean, some of these docs, I mean, that's just not my field. So I learned a lot about BHRT and the sexual wellness and all those things. So it's been great. Go back and watch any episode that you feel like, oh my God, she did that topic. Yeah, go back and watch it. Spotify, I'm about to say Amazon, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. You know I'm everywhere. So I just really appreciate you all from watching week to week, even if you don't catch it live. Appreciate your comments and everything. Like I said, I'm not stopping. This keeps going, but I just wanted to do a tribute because I'm just like, hold up, this is 2 years already, and it's been fun. This does not feel like work. I've been doing all of this by myself. I edit every single thing myself. I do the reels all by myself. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Marvin Young, who gave me a bouncing board and told me about Canvas and taught me how to use Canvas in the beginning. And then he just let me fly because I've been doing everything by myself. I haven't really felt the need to delegate. As of late, my niece, Gigi Mena, has been helping. All the comments that you see at the bottom and the comments that you see that goes across the screen like this, that she just wrote that. So thank you, Gigi. She's amazing. I feel like I'm accepting an award. Thank you to everyone. Yay. I'm just happy. I have joy. Most of the time I have joy. Even when I'm frustrated with these kids, I have joy. Legend, come say hi. Nobody's seen you. You haven't been in front of the camera. He always refused to come in front of the camera. Come here, Legend. All right, he's not coming. He didn't come the last time. They always make little cameos in the background, though. You always hear them on the other side of the door. Multiple times in those episodes, I can hear my kids screaming. Okay, finally, come on. I'm about to end the live. There he is. There he is. There's the 4-year-old Legend Mena. Oh my goodness. I love these kids. And I love what I do. If you're looking for a psychiatrist, I'm looking for new patients or accepting new patients. Well, looking for and accepting. Yeah, I do therapy and medication management. As you know, I have the books, the Enjoy No, for you to learn how to prioritize your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health. And the Inspire Joy for the Wife, Mom, Boss book. You can get both on Amazon. This one is an ebook as well for $9.99. So both of them are on Amazon and my website at drenjoylife.com. So grab those books, and until next time, thank you. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 12 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspire Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.